$847. That's the number. Not what you owe, not what you saved, what's left. You check it at 11:51 p.m. on a Wednesday, lying on a mattress the previous tenant left behind. You told yourself it was temporary. That was 14 months ago. You check it again at 11:52. Still $847. You're 24. You have $6,400 in student loans, $1,900 on a credit card at 22.99% APR, and a direct deposit hitting Friday that's already spent. Rent, insurance, the card minimum, a phone bill you've been meaning to switch for 8 months. You are not behind. You tell yourself this. You have a job, a plan, loosely. You are not behind. But every grocery run is a calculation. The price of eggs without looking. You put the good bread back. You split a streaming subscription with someone you don't particularly like anymore because canceling feels like losing ground. This is what the bottom feels like. Not dramatic, not cinematic, just a low, constant hum of arithmetic running underneath everything you do. At zero, money is not a tool. Money is the weather. You don't control it, you just wake up and check what it's doing and plan your day around it. The first rule, at zero, every financial decision is emotional. And emotional decisions compound in the wrong direction. $12,000. You crossed 5 figures, you're 26. You've never had 5 figures before in your life, not once. And the psychological weight of it is completely disproportionate to the number itself. You don't do anything with it, you just let it exist. Then you start reading. Not self-help, actual material about how money moves. You learn what an index fund is, you learn what an expense ratio is, and feel a specific kind of anger when you realize the first fund you bought charges 0.85%, and there's an identical one that charges 0.03%. You switch. You feel cheated by your own ignorance. You invest $1,800. The market drops 4% the next day. Your hand hovers over the sell button. You don't sell. Not because you're brave, because you know what you own. You hold. That moment, not selling, is the first real financial decision you make from information instead of fear. $38,000. You're 28. Making $61,000. Roth IRA funded. Emergency fund built. Doing everything you were told to do. Then you sit down one evening and run the honest numbers. Not the comfortable version, the actual version. You open a spreadsheet, type in your savings rate, your income growth, your return assumption, and you run it all the way to 65. The number at the end is fine. It is not what you want. A comfortable, unremarkable, fully funded retirement at 67. Enough to not be a burden to anyone. Not enough to have done anything unexpected with your life. You close the spreadsheet, you open it again, you change the income, you change the rate. Every scenario comes back to the same conclusion. A salary, even a growing one, has a ceiling. And that ceiling, saved faithfully for 40 years, produces a life that is fine. The second rule, salary is a ceiling dressed as a floor. The moment you see it clearly, you cannot unsee it. $74,000. You start something on the side. You don't call it a business. It's just a thing, a skill, a problem, a service someone will pay for. $200 the first month, then $600, then $1,100. You reinvest everything. You don't tell your employer. You don't tell most people. Same apartment, same lunches, same slightly too small window. You treat a new $74,000 salary as if it didn't happen. But your net worth crosses $74,000, and you start to feel something you've never felt before, not from a number, but from its direction, from the pull of it. Decisions made 2 years ago are arriving now, quietly, in the form of returns you didn't have to earn this week. You start measuring your time differently. Every hour spent on something that doesn't build is an hour the machine isn't running. $280,000. You're 33. Your money has developed a personality. It has preferences. You've made investments beyond the index funds. One returned $18,000 in 10 months. One lost $7,400. You didn't panic about the loss. You understand now that being in the game has a cost. Occasional losses on positions you took deliberately, and you pay that cost without drama and reposition. A duplex. Net monthly cash flow after all costs, $580. A second property, another $870. Combined real estate income, $1,450 a month. You've started saying no to things. A destination wedding. A group holiday where costs split equally and you'd be covering 3 people's bar tabs by Tuesday. An investment opportunity pitched by a friend who says the word cash flow confidently, but doesn't know what it means. No, no, no. You feel the friction. Some people go quiet around your nose. You feel it and say no anyway. The third rule, below $300,000 you are still building. Above it, what you've built starts building itself. $1 million. It happens on a Tuesday, nothing ceremonial. Your portfolio app loads and the number is there. 7 figures. You sit with it for a moment, you thought you'd feel different. There's a quiet satisfaction, real, not performed. And then almost immediately a very clear and practical recognition. $1 million at 4% withdrawal is $40,000 a year. That is not freedom, that is a starting point. You're 38. The identity question isn't whether you're happy. The identity question is, what did you think this milestone was for? The answer arrives slowly. The milestone was never the destination. It was proof of concept, evidence that the system works, that it wasn't luck, it was repetition. Unflinching, unsexy, daily repetition. The fourth rule, the million arrives and the milestone turns out to be proof of concept, not destination. $2,400,000. Money has stopped being a source of anxiety. For the first time in your adult life, it is simply a resource. The way time is a resource. The way attention is a resource. You don't think about your checking balance. You think about allocation. Where is the capital positioned? What is its return profile? What are you not seeing? You take a 12-day trip. You do not check email for 5 of them. This is the thing you cannot buy at lower levels, not the trip. The 5 days. The ability to be fully somewhere else without a background hum of financial consequence following you. $5 million. The game changes texture. It's no longer about building. It's about positioning. You are moving capital now, not working for it. That distinction sounds small. It is enormous. You start meeting people at $20 million, $40 million. You study how they think, not what they own. The patience is longer. They are not trying to win every hand. They are trying to stay at the table longer than everyone else. You stop discussing money with people who don't have it. Not from arrogance, from accuracy. The conversations become imprecise. People project meanings onto numbers the numbers don't carry. At this level, $400,000 is a position size. Saying this in the wrong room makes you someone's villain. You've learned not to say it. The fifth rule. Above $5 million, your reputation becomes a financial instrument. It earns returns independent of your direct actions. $62 million. The isolation at this level is not loneliness. It's something more specific. The people in your life, the good ones, kept across 25 years, exist at a remove from your daily reality that is simply not bridgeable. Not because of anything they did, because the context of your life has become largely untranslatable. You give more than you ever have, not for reputation, not for access, though you understand that moves with it. You give because money has stopped being a measure of anything meaningful about who you are. And giving is one of the remaining acts that still feels like a decision, that still feels like it means something. The sixth rule, above $50 million, money stops measuring your worth. It starts measuring your reach. $94 million. You are 61. You think in cycles now, not quarters, not years, cycles, demographic shifts, infrastructure timelines, credit cycles that take a decade to complete. You position ahead of them with the patience of someone who has learned that the right thesis held for 3 years outperforms any clever trade held for 3 months. There is a board meeting. 5 people in a room. You speak for 6 minutes total. You ask 3 questions. The room reorganizes around those questions. You leave before lunch is served. Power, at its most refined, looks like this. No volume, no spectacle. A room that moves when you speak. And somewhere in this city, right now, there's a 24-year-old opening a banking app in the dark. His balance is $847. He's in a bed he didn't buy. In an apartment slightly too small, checking the number like checking it will change it. He has a direct deposit coming Friday that's already gone. He has a plan, loosely. He thinks this is a story about money. He thinks if he just makes enough of it, some background hum will finally go quiet. He doesn't know yet what has to change. He doesn't know what it will cost, not in dollars, in distance, in the slow, permanent widening between who you are at the bottom and who you have to become to reach the end. He doesn't know about the moments that compound, not the financial ones, the other ones. The Wednesday he doesn't sell, the Friday he moves $100 to savings before he can think about it. The Sunday night he funds the account and it feels like nothing. It's not nothing. The machine doesn't ask if you're ready. It opens every morning and takes whoever shows up. Whoever shows up consistently, patiently, without flinching, feel ready, they compound. The money compounds. And so does everything else. The balance is $847. It always starts there. It always will.